What makes you think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine? Even if you call me.
Let's go ahead and get it. So. I couldn't believe they did this. We got to talk about Black Girl Gamer, Sweet Baby Inc., and Ash Paris. First of all, I don't know if we're going to watch this whole 26-minute video. Actually, we're not going to watch it. But we do want to bring up, where is it? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have that Park Place help us out with this one, because there's some things being said in here that are absolutely egregious. Yamato says, who would you clap? What are we talking about here, sir? Who are we talking about here? You talking about Vera Dark? I mean, hey, we talking about Vera Dark. Hey. I'm just saying. Okay, that's what I thought you meant. Anyway, who else we got? Shout out to Trelly C, who's in the building. Pro-black Ash Paris, but has a white boyfriend. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this video. Black Girl Gamers had a little video they did with Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Belair and Ash Paris of The Verge. Okay, so let's go ahead and, I haven't watched the whole thing, so Vara Dark or Amanda Stein. We just talking about clapping. I gotta go Amanda. Sorry. If we just talking about clapping, I gotta go Amanda. If we talking long term, I think the answer is pretty easy. You gotta go Vera, because one, Vera is a gamer. And she seems, again, like I always tell you guys, never become a fan of your favorite YouTubers. Always be a supporter, because if you're a supporter instead of a fan, there's no issues if allegations come out or like the truth is revealed about your favorite, like even me. So like, based on what we know, Vera seems to have her head on straight. So judging by that, long term, it would have to be Vera. But if we talking about, I just walked in the club, I got a few drinks going on, and I see Vera Dark and I see Amanda. I'm sorry, I'm the type of guy, I gotta go for the baddest one in the room. Amanda is fine. That girl is fine. When she started talking though, I don't know, I won't say that. It's just what Hollywood is making her say. I'm gonna assume. I believe that if you was to talk to her separately, you would never know she's as psychotic as she is based on the things that she said. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get this on the road.
Hello, and welcome back to the Black Girl Gamers Online Care and Speak, but also now leading into the panel. Tell me briefly about your experiences during the Gamergate phenomenon. We'll start with you, Ash, and just give me a brief synopsis of what you experienced.
So I am a video game journalist, and if you know nothing about Gamergate, one of their main hated enemies.
Yeah, Frostfang, absolutely do not dance. Absolutely do not dance.
More than anything is a video game journalist who is not afraid to speak truth to power. And my experience with that whole chicanery is that they popped up. I went and embedded in their Discord and listened to the kinds of things that they were saying and why they were saying those things. Wrote a piece about how this second Gamergate is a bit smaller and sadder than what it was 10 years ago. And whenever you write about those kinds of things,
it's smaller and sadder, but yet every single thing that's went up against Gamergate has flopped. This is what I be talking about. They want you so bad to believe that you're not as big as you are, but we literally run this shit. Don't ever forget that. We run this shit. We got the money, bitch. What part of that don't y'all understand? Oh, I get it. Y'all do understand it. You just don't want to admit it.
It really like kicks a hornet's nest over. And so you get all these kinds of negative attention on your social media, in your email, those kinds of things.
Ashley Parrish looks like she chews on a combination of tree bark and semen. I shit you not. Like, what the fuck?
Gotten death threats to my voicemail that I've had to, you know, call the FBI about, and that's just what happens when you know, try to do your job as a journalist and write about these things that are happening in a truthful and authentic kind of way. And sometimes people don't like that.
Yeah, and Kim, I know obviously with the company and the good work that you've done, your organization and yourself were huge targets in this phenomenon. Tell us about your experience as well.
Yeah, I would say I think of us almost as like patient zero of this wave of Gay Brigade, in that I think when I think of it as where it started, it was kind of the week that we.
This motherfucker just called herself Patient Zero. No, you fucking moron. Patient Zero is, what's that boy name? Chris Kendrick. Or there would be no Gamergate. Goofball.
It announced that we were on both Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2, which are two, I think, popular games among the game community and players in general. And immediately, I think the targeting began with this kind of like, we found this secret, sinister website of Sweet Baby Inc. Meanwhile, we're on Twitter like, I've been so excited to let people know that we worked on these two really great games. And the assumption was essentially made that our work on that had not been story or narrative or character related. It had been to make a black character exist in Alan Wake 2, and I think to put pride flags in Spider-Man 2. And that was kind of like the assumption that we had wokeified the video games. And then that led to, as a company, we work on over 80 games together. So there was plenty of fodder for people to start going, oh, is this the reason?
Let me slow it down, y'all. I got it on 1.5. Let me slow it down.
That all of these games are now woke, that they have people of color in them, or queer people, or any marginalized identities at all, or even sometimes that, you know, they perceive like, oh, this woman's design is not quite as it used to be, and I think it used to be hotter. So there's a lot of stuff that's been put on us, both things that we did work on, things that we didn't, and then we kind of just became shorthand for the wokeification, quote unquote, of gaming.
So let's talk about the wokeification of gaming. First of all, it's not just about putting a black character here or putting a woman there. It's the mindset that comes with it. First of all, gaming has always been diverse. You know what I'm saying? It always has been. First of all, second of all, the people who make games are gonna make games the way that they see it through lens. The problem I have with a Sweet Baby Inc. or a Black Girl Gamers or Ash Paris is you motherfuckers don't do nothing regarding making video games. You niggas can't make shit. All you do, because you have no talent. You have zero talent. You have zero skill, zero ability. The only thing you do is you go to everybody else's project and say, listen, guys, we can't really make a video game ourselves because we're not that talented. We're not that smart. So we want you to change what you are making to include the things we think you should include. That's the problem. And it would be no problem if it was a smooth transition. If it was a smooth transition to where we hardly noticed it. But when I'm playing a fucking video game, when I'm playing Spider-Man 2, right? And I'm playing as Miles Morales, let's ignore the fact that, you know, we clearly said we don't like playing as Mary Jane, but we're being forced to play with her even more now. Let's ignore the fact that I'm noticing that, you know, Peter Parker is getting pantsed in his own sequel. We're going to ignore that. I'm playing as a black man. I'm playing as Miles Morales, right? And I noticed that Miles Morales, the young black boy on campus who's mixed with, you know, he's mixed with a Puerto Rican, more than likely has good texture of hair. You know how good texture of hair in the black community is if you're black like me. Mixed with Puerto Rican, good texture of hair. He always got some Jordans on. Nigga always fresh as shit. He isn't socially awkward like Peter Parker has been portrayed in many iterations. This nigga would be that nigga on campus, and you mean to tell me his love interest is a fucking deaf girl with a nose the size of Texas? If you don't get that shit the fuck out of here, who you think you talking to? If Miles, this is how you know ain't no real black people consulted with this shit, because any real black people would have told you, nah, Miles Morales would be that nigga on campus, and he got both his parents in his home. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This nigga wouldn't be dating no deaf girl. This nigga would be dating the baddest chick on campus. Stop playing. That's what makes Miles Morales so unique, is because he's so much different from Peter Parker. He would be that nigga on campus. And he got to get this look. I'm sorry, you know, no shade to nobody. The girl looked borderline retarded. I'm sorry. Her nose was wide as shit, and she couldn't talk. That is not, ain't no. Are there any black men in the chat? If you could choose any woman you want to, is that what you choosing? No, let me bring up a picture of Shorty. No, you know what? It's not even necessary. Y'all play Spider-Man 2. Because I don't want to diverge away from the video for too long. I'm just saying, that's just one example. Another example would be in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, where you have Harley Quinn doesn't want to put on her comic accurate outfit. Go away with that trash. I want something a little bit more fashion forward. Ain't no fucking real developers starting no bullshit like that. That come from you narrative consulting sensitivity readers. Oh no, Harley Quinn, a more modern take on Harley Quinn would never wear that. Only sensitivity readers would tell the devs, hey, listen, you should shit on all the other Justice League members because they're males while paying so much homage to Wonder Woman. We can see this shit. We can literally see this shit. By the way, Miles Morales has a dad who's a cop and an uncle who's a drug dealer or just a criminal in general. He would be that nigga. He would have the discipline from having a father who is strict and very like, hey, yo, stay on your grades, while also being cool enough to get enough influence from his drug dealing or just criminal uncle. Oh, yeah. So he can really code switch anywhere. Miles Morales would be that nigga. You cannot convince me that the most lit nigga on campus without the Spider-Man persona would be with a deaf girl like that. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Who y'all think y'all talking to? Who y'all think y'all talking? Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. It's a lot of y'all in here. I got Don in the building. I got Double A. Juan is in the building. Yonder Doom is in the building. I think that's how you say it. Galactic Star Boozer. Shouts out to you. Cryptic Beats is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Al is in the building. Mr. West's name is in the building. It's a lot of y'all. I appreciate it. Shout out to Honey who's in the building. Shouts out to all of y'all.
Yeah, I think, we all saw it, and with Sweet Baby becoming essentially, they used your company and yourself as a synonym for what they describe as wokeifying gaming, really. And similar to your experiences, we experienced death threats for the team. The team were worried about putting on the summit. Hence,
y'all be killing me with these death threats. Don't nobody believe that shit. Send the receipts. Send the receipts. That's all I want to see. Send me the receipts, and that's it. I want to get to the part. Let's see. I think Smash JT had it. Hold up. Shouts out to that boy Smash JT. Okay. At what part though? Oh, they disable the dislikes. Hold on, let me see. Full article. Okay, let's go to Smash JT's article. So, let's see. Recently, we already know that their event was supposedly okay. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, whenever you write about these kinds of things, it really kicks a hornet's nest over. You get all these kind of negative attention. And that's the thing that these people don't understand. The moment I got on YouTube, I understood that things that I say could bring me negative attention. I have to deal with that. I'm an adult. Right? Like, we all have to contend with that, right? We all understand that. What is it about you people who don't understand that when you get on the internet and you say things, you open yourself up to criticism? Doesn't matter who you are. So why are we pretending as though that's a problem? Okay, let's see. Kim Biller, I think of us almost. No. Where's the part where she declares war? Let's see. The assumption was essentially made that our work on games had been the make black. Okay, we already went through that part. You guys still around? Selective outrage. Where's the comment, man? Come on, JT. Well, anyway, let's just keep listening because I thought they had a specific comment. Let's go.
That's why we've held it in this platform in general, because there was a lot of relentless harassment, death threats, emails, comments to a small team. And one of the things that actually also affected us as well, and I know affected you both, is libel and slander, like things that were not actually true but being spread around companies and similar to us. So there's a blurred line between the content creators and journalists. Ashley, how can gamers discern the difference when it comes to consuming mis or disinformation
Listen to this part.
around people and companies when it comes to Gamergate? How can people discern the two?
So what you want to do is you always want to consider your source. You can get your opinions, you can get your hot takes, you can get your video game reviews from wherever you want, I don't care. But when you are consuming news, like what is happening in the gaming world, consider your source and always consider reliable sources. Your reliable sources are going to be like your big, tentpole legacy media kind of places. I work for The Verge, which is a vertical of Vox Media. There's Polygon, there's IGN, there's GameSpot. There's
Why the fuck you lying?
I don't hear that shit.
Why you always
I don't hear that shit.
lying?
Shut up, bitch.
Oh my
Shut up. Let me break down what she. Let me break down what she just said. So, old girl J.Ann Lopez, which I'm not gonna cap. Shout out to J.Ann Lopez. I mean, she worked for Black Girl Gamers, but
Let me suck them titties, baby.
I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm just gonna throw that out there. If I was drunk, you know what I'm saying, and I was. But anyway, first of all, what J.Ann Lopez asked was, how do you fight against misinformation and disinformation? And then Ashley Parrish responded with basically consume legacy media. Okay, so first of all, what we do over here, we report on the news. We don't report the news. I don't know any YouTuber I don't know any, YouTuber that I know, anybody that I know who reports the news. Nobody's breaking any news. What we do is we consume the news and we bring it to our audience in a way that lets our personality stand out. And then we give our audience different ways to compartmentalize it and internalize it. You want people to compartmentalize the news your way. We're giving people a different angle. For example, Alyssa Mercante writes an article called Sweet Baby Inc. Doesn't Do What It Is You Think It Does. And she talks about how gamers are misogynistic and racist and homophobic and all of these different things. But what we as YouTubers and content creators noticed in her article, she failed to mention the part where a Sweet Baby Inc. employee tried to get Cabrutus banned from Steam just for making a list of video games that included Sweet Baby Inc. in it. And when addressed with that, her response was along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, I didn't think it was necessary for the conversation. Excuse me? What? What the fuck? So no, you shouldn't just consume legacy media. I'm not telling you not to. All we're doing is, on this side is, we're letting our audience know how full of shit you are. That's right. You are full of shit. And that's why most of your companies are going out of business. That's why the only reason you got these 12,000 views that you got, is because we roasting your ass. Notice you had to turn the dislike button off. Where they do that at? Only in a weak ass space like this. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. You know how my nose get. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. For those of you who are new here, Ninja Cast lore, I cannot stream for more than an hour or so before my nose start running. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't explain it. All right, let's continue.
Vested interest in making sure that the things that they share with you, the things that they write, are up to journalistic standards. There are other like smaller hobbyist sites
Wait.
that you may
Up to journalistic standards. You mean how one of your favorite journalists went after somebody's wife who had nothing to do with the conversation?
want to, depending on if you know the author or are familiar with their work, that you can continue to consume their work, but just make sure that anytime you're reading something that's like
Don says, Atreus, do you think these consultant companies are going to last 2 years? Yeah, I do. There will always be a need for consultants. It's just about how they go about it and what they decide to listen to.
like news based, like actual factual information that you are consuming them from reliable sources.
And then we hear all of this, like, so along with the slander and the libel, we obviously got a lot of death threats and slurs in our inboxes, and not even just for us, for our team. I know, Kim, your experiences and your team went through a lot, but what is this?
we've been through some stuff.
Yeah, you've been through some things, so please talk on that, and then also please talk on what is this idea of wokeifying gaming.
Oh, they said mean words to me. We've been through so much.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest...
Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. You're a fucking grown-ass adult. You decided to make yourself public, not us. And you're more than welcome to go private. You don't have to be. Here's another thing. Didn't Instagram give you niggas a safe haven? All you gotta do is go to Threads. Why the fuck are you on Twitter if it's such a problem? But far be it from me to offend anybody.
Really? Like, what is that when people talk about that?
I mean, I think it's part of it's the greater movement, right, towards a lot of like very far right thinking and a lot of very regressive material that's kind of just being pushed out across a lot of different, or at least like a lot of the audiences of a lot of different industries are currently kind of talking about that, and obviously the political landscape has kind of led to a lot of this. But I think for a lot of people, it really comes down to they see a change that they themselves did not expect. They see a change that they can't fathom that their beloved companies or their beloved teams would ever make themselves, and so they kind of assume that anyone who comes in who looks like myself or other members of my team are the interlopers, right? Like our job can only be tied to our identity. It's speaking of misinformation, I think the biggest thing for us during this campaign is that
that's it. That's exactly what it is. Your job is only tied to your identity. That's it. Why is it like you guys don't bring no authenticity? There's nothing authentic about what you do. If I go into a studio, right? I go into a studio and the entire studio is full of white people, but they want to make a game that includes some black people in it. Okay, cool. And they're like, okay, well, we don't know what it means to be black, so let's bring some consultants in here. Okay, fine. No problem with that. But then you come in and the first character you tell them to make is a fucking
Tranny demons.
No, and damn well black people ain't going for that shit. And the only reason you can get away with it is because most black people only play the Negro Casual collection. If black people played Concord, they would be like, what the fuck? And that's the thing that's so inauthentic about it. Black people don't play these games. So why do we need like inclusion in it? The fuck? We don't need it. Like, I don't need a lead black character in Final Fantasy. I don't. I understand it's made by Japanese people. I played the game to go into a Japanese world. Now, if they want to have, if it's their creative vision to have a black character there, fine. But here you come in like, no, you need more women. You need more black people. We literally saw y'all get exposed for trying to expose Black Myth Wukong for not having any female characters. And then we started to play the game and wait a minute. There's female characters. These people are so full of shit, bro.
Say that any kind of sensitivity work or consulting work in cultural consultation probably represents about 15% of our work, where the vast majority of it is actually writing, narrative design, joining writing teams, helping support writing teams, sometimes being the entire writing team for
Nobody missed that part. We know that's what you do. And the thing is, you do it through the lens of a person whose entire personality is based on their identity. What the fuck? You ain't say shit.
Project or helping with mission design. But the part that really gets, everyone assuming that we can't possibly do that other work because all we are is, quote unquote DEI, and we became labeled as this DEI company when the facts of the way that we work are that someone calls in and says, hey, we're making something, we've made a bunch of choices, we'd love you to either help write, help look at them, help talk to us. And even sometimes our cultural consultation is as specific as it's job consultation, as we had to hire a meteorologist at one point to do a consult on a project. And I think that idea of authenticity for people, if you say like, oh, we hired a lawyer because we have to write about lawyers, no one would ever bat an eye, but they can't imagine that
because that has nothing to do with DEI. That has nothing to do with DEI. So why would anybody say anything about that? Obviously, if you're writing a show, She-Hulk, where there's courtroom drama, you want to consult with some people who know something about that. But those people aren't going to come in and tell you, well, hopefully they wouldn't come in and tell you, well, by the way, your judge needs to be a black woman. Just letting you know that. No, just tell us how the courtroom works, and that's it.
In someone from a specific background or country.
Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't y'all go into Flintlock and tell them to change their main character into a black woman? Or
experience to talk about this.
And then just the fact that we know y'all full of shit. We know y'all with all the DEI bullshit. Look at the fucking names. She, her, she, her, she, her. What the fuck? Did nobody need that?
And I think there's also this idea that, if a game company is reaching out to external people, that's because they're missing something or they can't handle something, and not because, in the very real world of creation across many different media, people talk.
Let's skip ahead.
Is they're forced to do so,
as like not incentive.
Exact phenomenon, the same behavior perpetuated against marginalized people, and specifically this wave was about consultation. It was very interesting to see a lack of statement. We've seen obviously some studios make recent statements on consultation recently and actually stand by their consultants, which is great. But for the most part, obviously, Kim, you said you make work on like 70, 80 titles, and we've worked on at least a good number. There's been this, underlying kind of silence or just ignoring of the Gamergate situation. And what does the industry need to do to help curb these negative moments in the future? I'll start with Kim.
I would say that at a certain point, it's a macro level community management, right? It's learning how to, I think, express these kinds of things, not only when we have these spikes of hate campaigns, but also in general. I think that there are some studios that do a much better job of it than others, I would say. But what I think strikes me all the time is that I don't think there's as much at risk in speaking out as a lot of people are afraid of, right? I think, and I think that there's a lot of, the sense of it'll blow over. And in a way it does, right? Everything ends, everything kind of ebbs and flows. But at the same time, I think that it's completely fine to do it when Gamergate is not aflame, right? It's fine to kind of speak your truth to your values and kind of like really stand by them. At other times, I think that that's something that would help prevent it, and to kind of be more, and I think also to be more open and honest just about the way that people work with consultants. Because
you can speak on whatever you want to. I don't think you're going to get what you want, because what you fail to realize is you live in a capitalistic society. Niggas want to make money. I don't think you motherfuckers understand that. Do y'all not understand that if the studio doesn't make money, people don't get paid? If people don't get paid, then there's layoffs. And if there's layoffs, then people lose their lives. Well, not literally, but their lives fall apart. So you want these companies to come out and speak out against gamers. So what you gonna do when gamers say, okay, bitch, I'm not buying your game? Concord. Are y'all not get, and that's where I want to get to. Y'all can go and watch the rest of this on your own. I want to get to something.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you.